Hey guys, how's it going? Joshua Shanti here. Today I wanted to talk about ADHD and the viewpoints that many people have on the positive and negative aspects of this so-called illness. Now, I have been diagnosed as ADHD. I was diagnosed when I was 5 years old, and throughout my life, I've had the ups and downs of the things that other people project on you, saying, oh, it's either real or not real, or it's a problem or not a problem. And I just want to share a little bit about my experience that I've had in my life, and hopefully it can benefit people who have the same issues. Now, when I was in school, I had a lot of issues with the teachers and following the rules, but that was only because they didn't understand exactly what was going on with me, which was that I had more energy than most people have to be able to put out continuously. So sitting down in a chair all day long without being able to creatively express myself all the time was somewhat of a hindrance to myself. And most people think that ADHD is a bad thing, and they give their children medicine and try and tone them down so that they can somewhat conform to the normality that people want them to be. Now, I was stuck on those kind of drugs for a little while, and all it did was dumb me. It didn't do anything beneficial. All it did was really hurt me. And my parents saw that after a little while, and they entirely took me off the medication and instead put me on a healthy diet, which I suggest to any parents or people who have the same ADHD condition, is to find a better diet that balances yourself so that you can maintain a healthier mind state to continuously move forward in the way that you want to. ADHD is something that gives people a lot more energy than most people, and people think that maybe this is a disadvantage because you can't focus as much, but I think, in my personal opinion and experience, that it's not a disadvantage. It's more of an advantage because of the fact that you can utilize this extra energy much more. In my personal experience over my life, I've been able to utilize this energy to be able to creatively express myself throughout the day continuously, to be able to have more than one hobby, to be able to focus my attention in more than one section and learn more than one thing at a time. I have been able to learn anything I really want to because I utilize that energy and I focus it towards anything that I really want to do. It really depends on, what your interest is. It has benefited me so much that I'm proud to say anything that I know right now, I've been able to do and teach myself because of this ADHD. I never considered it as a condition. I considered it as an advantage, because I know that if I have more energy than most people, I have the ability to continuously output more than regular people do. There's no real difference between people who have ADHD and people who don't. It's just the people who utilize that extra energy. That's the only difference. It all comes down to what you want to use your extra energy for. Now, I can say that sometimes having this extra energy can cause a lot of stuff going on in the mind and make studying a little bit harder, but it's not the difficulty with studying, it's the way you go about studying. And that could be for anybody. It doesn't have to be with somebody who just has ADHD. Anybody who studies has to find the right way to study to be able to absorb that information. So I want to encourage people to not think that ADHD is a condition or something that they have to deal with on a daily basis. It all depends on how you look at it and how you want to deal with those things that are presented to you in life. Anybody has to just try and deal with the way that their body and their mind is so that they can live their life the way that they want to. It doesn't matter if you have ADHD or not. For me personally, I like having ADHD. If you want to call it ADHD, I call it just being normal. I feel like I'm normal because I like to be able to be creatively expressive every single day. It's my passion, it's what I love to do. And I've made that into my reality. People who have ADHD sometimes like to not do anything because they feel like it's something that society has looked down upon. So they take those medications and they take that information that people feed them and say, oh, I shouldn't have this, or this is a bad thing, or I'm bothering other people. You have to really understand what normality means to people. Normality means that they're kind of like boring. I don't understand why people are so boring all the time. It just feels like that they're just living their lives without anything behind it. Maybe there should be more ADHD people so that we can spice life up and bring things that people haven't brought before. Now, there's a great story that I remember hearing a while ago. I don't remember her name, but I'm sure that many people know if you go ahead and look it up online. but there was this really famous person. She was a woman who was diagnosed with ADHD when she was really young. And her mother took her to the doctor. And instead of the doctor suggesting, let's put this girl on medication, find something that she enjoys. Why don't you help her be a dancer? And instead of the mom saying, no, I want to put her on medication, she did exactly what the doctor said. She said, okay, let's make her a dancer. And she put her into ballerina dancing. And then that woman, from the age that she was diagnosed with ADHD up until, adulthood, was an incredible ballerina dancer. And she became one of the most world famous ballerina dancers, and because she utilized that ADHD that she had, or supposed ADHD that she had, condition, and she used it to her advantage. And she stepped forward every single day in knowing, I am who I am, and I am going to utilize whatever God gave me. It's a very inspiring story to me, because to think of the many parents or people who give their children or adults medication to be able to take away this gift that God gave them, it seems kind of like ridiculous. I don't understand it. It's something that's a gift, and you should definitely utilize it every single day. It's up to you how you want to utilize it, of course, whether it's creatively expression or using it to help other people. It just really matters what your inspiration is. So parents out there, don't give your kids medication. It's not going to help them. Let them use this extra energy to benefit themselves, or maybe they want to benefit other people. If they want to benefit other people, that's great. Let them do that as well. But don't give them medication. Adults who have this, if you feel like you're taking medication and it somewhat helps you, that's cool. I feel like the medication may help certain people. Some people like to take pills, some people like to smoke weed. It really depends on how you feel about your condition. It always comes down to that. So make sure to let yourself be you and come into this extra energy that you have if you're ADHD. And if you're a parent who has a child who's ADHD, make sure to allow them to be who they are. Maybe they're causing a little problems in class, or maybe they're not as easy to handle as your previous child or other children that your friends and family may have. But that's okay. You can't expect every child to be the exact same way. Let them be who they are.